So my name is David Coffin, and we're out here on beautiful Spectacle Island. It's late October, and some of us just went swimming because it's such a beautiful day, and the harbor, of course, is clean enough to swim in, not too cold yet. And we're out here exploring the island, hiking the drumlins, and of course looking at historic beach glass, the treasures of Spectacle Island, seeing what we can find, the different colors, the different shapes, what's whole, what's broken, and examining it and trying to figure out what did this used to be? What did this used to be?
Why? I know for a fact that you love beach glass. I know you do.
I do.
Explain its fascination to me.
The thing about beach glass, especially out on Spectacle, is it's all old glass. It's historic. It's not modern day glass. This was beach glass that was trash 100 years ago and back before recycling, so people threw out their glass and it leached its way down to the perimeter of the island. So all the glass we find down here is at least 50 to 100 years old. So it's historic. You find glass down here you can't find anywhere else. Glass used to be really thick. You find the old milk bottles back in the days when the milkman actually came to your house and put the milk in the little container outside your door. Those bottles, you can find parts of those bottles out here. And it's really fun to see if you can find the neck of a bottle, for example, in its entirety. There's the challenge. Find the neck of any bottle in its entirety. You can find the big ones, thick. You can find the really small ones, the perfume bottles. All of those things, that's my draw. That's the excitement to beach glass hunting for me.
You know, David, this year we did 5,685 or 865 kids on the all-access boats.
Yes, we did.
Which is about twice what we did last year. And we did another 1,000 kids on other boats that folks gave us over the course of the summer. 1,000 kids from Camp Harborview. These kids wouldn't have another chance to be out here if it wasn't for that. We talked a little bit about youth programs, just a little bit.
Well, that's one of the things I love about Save the Harbor, Save the Bay. In the summer, they run an enormous amount of different programs on all the various beaches around the harbor with some of the camps, and then of course all access Boston Harbor, which gives us a chance to bring so many kids from the greater Boston area out to one of the harbor islands, either Spectacle or George's Island, who otherwise wouldn't have a chance to come out here. It's fully funded, it's free to the kids, and it's an opportunity for many of them to go for their first boat ride, to be out on the harbor, to come to a harbor island where they've never been before, and this is their backyard.
What is it? I mean, you talk to the youth program leaders, you know, in between telling them not to throw rocks at other programs. It's a busy time, and it's just good to have them outside.
Absolutely.
But they come to an island, and you want them to know something. If you could tell them one thing, if you could remind them of one thing, what's the one thing that you want folks to know about the Boston Harbor Islands?
About the Boston Harbor Islands? I think the one thing for kids to know about the Harbor Islands is that there's a lot of history out here. A lot of these islands have evolved over time. Spectacle Island doesn't look anything like it used to a couple hundred years ago. It's completely transformed. And there's a sense of history out here it's their history. It's their history. It's not history you're going to read about in school. This is a different kind of history. And the only way you're really going to get it is by coming out here and experiencing the island firsthand. I think that's one of the things that's, this is history you can come out and look at. You can touch it. And I think that's important for kids.
What are the three coolest things that you've found here over the years?
On Spectacle Island? I think the three coolest things I've found are, well, I love finding the marbles, the various different shapes and color marbles, the bottlenecks, as I mentioned earlier, and the red beach glass that has the ribbing on it, and I know that these are the starboard lights from old ships. The red glass. Those are the treasures that I really enjoy finding and showing to the kids and say, do you have any idea what this is? This is from an old ship. And I think that's just a cool thing to try to connect kids with.
This is a little different for you and I, for me more than for you. You do a lot of narrations on cruises of all descriptions. That's partly who you are in the summertime.
Yep.
Or partly who you pretend to be. Probably who you are. Can't get the salt out of you. We have families here today. And in fact, some of the families are families of the kids that were with us this summer.
Come out this summer.
And from other places. And
Yeah.
former staffers who come back. Talk to me a little bit about the spring and the fall. Why should we do more of this?
I think coming out in the fall it's a completely different experience. People think of islands, they think summer. And I think of islands almost year-round. Maybe not December, January, but you know, it doesn't have to be strictly a 1 or 2 season visit. Come out here. I mean, it's very different. It feels different to be out here in the fall than it does in the heat of the summer or in the peak of the summer. There are fewer people out here. There's more beach glass to be seen. It's quieter. There are fewer boats out on the harbor. It's just more tranquil, I think, in the fall. I think in the spring it gears up a little bit more, but islands are accessible year-round. As long as the harbor's not frozen, and that hasn't happened since 1904. You remember that, don't you, Bruce?
I do. You feel like singing anything for us while you're nearly naked on the beach, David?
Well, the only reason I'm nearly naked out here is because I did just go swimming. I firmly believe in pushing the season. And I think not only pushing the season in terms of swimming in the water, but pushing the season in terms of coming out to the islands and just being out here. I mean, why not? This is a beautiful place to be. You can climb the top of the hill and you're the highest person in the harbor. Spectacle Island's the highest island in the harbor. So come out here as much as possible. It doesn't have to only be in the summer.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Go back and look for the beach glass. I mean, we've got...